What if I told you that Arsenal are on the verge of doing something they haven't done in 5 years, and tonight at Wembley could be the night everything finally changes? Welcome back to Gunners Updates, the channel where we break down everything Arsenal, and today we are going all in on the Carabao Cup final against Manchester City, because this is not just another match. This is a defining moment for this football club, and you need to hear everything before kickoff. Arsenal have arrived at the iconic Wembley Stadium calm, focused, and completely locked in. As the squad stepped off the bus, there was no over-celebration, no visible nerves, and no unnecessary noise. Just a group of players who know exactly what is in front of them and exactly what it means. This is the kind of quiet confidence that wins trophies, and if you have been watching Arsenal closely this season, you will know that this team has been building to a moment exactly like this one. Beat Manchester City tonight, and Arsenal lift their first trophy of the season. Lose, and the questions start creeping back in. It really is that simple, and that is what makes this final so compelling from every angle you look at it. Standing right in the middle of all of it is Mikel Arteta, a manager facing some of the biggest decisions of his entire career at this football club. Let us start with the goalkeeping situation, because this is where things get genuinely interesting. Kepa Arrizabalaga has played every single round in this competition. He has been a part of the journey from the very beginning, and you could argue he has earned his place in this final. However, David Raya is Arsenal's undisputed number one, and in a cup final at Wembley, you simply cannot afford to gamble on sentiment over quality. The analytics support this conclusion strongly. Raya carries a higher save percentage this season. He demonstrates better distribution when under pressure, and he has recorded more clean sheets against top-tier opposition. In a match where margins are everything and a single mistake can end your night, the signs overwhelmingly point toward Raya starting between the posts, and that is the right call. Moving into the defensive setup, there is genuine excitement surrounding the potential return of Jurrien Timber, and if he is fit enough to start, that would be absolutely massive for Arsenal. Alongside William Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes, Arsenal would have one of the most reliable and dominant defensive units in European football right now. At left back, though, there is a real decision to be made. Miles Lewis-Skelly and Oleksandr Zinchenko are options, but Ricardo Calafiori has been performing with incredible consistency, and Takehiro Tomiyasu offers something different if Arteta wants more defensive solidity. Whoever lines up there will need to be physically dominant and disciplined, because Manchester City will probe every channel and exploit any weakness they can find. In the middle of the park, Arsenal have something special. The combination of Declan Rice, Martin Zubimendi, and Ethan Nwaneri or Mikel Merino offers a blend of balance, creativity, and physicality that very few midfields in England can match right now. Rice brings the defensive security and leadership this team needs in big moments. Zubimendi controls tempo and dictates the rhythm of play with a maturity that is remarkable for someone who only recently joined the club. And the third midfield option adds unpredictability in the final third, which is exactly what you need when you are trying to unlock a structured and well-drilled Manchester City side. Rice, in particular, has become one of the most important players in the entire Premier League this season, and in a final of this magnitude, his influence could be the difference between winning and losing. Now we get to the biggest debate of the entire build-up, and it is a question that has divided Arsenal supporters right down the middle. Who leads the line? Do you go with Viktor Gyökeres, who brings relentless energy, intelligent pressing, and the ability to create chaos for any defensive line in the world? Or do you go with Kai Havertz, who offers control, clever link-up play, composure in tight spaces, and the technical quality to pick apart a structured defense? This decision could genuinely define the match. Against City's organized and well-drilled defensive shape, Gyökeres offers disruption and the kind of physical presence that can unsettle even the best defenders. But Havertz offers something different, the kind of calm, composed, intelligent play that finals often demand. History tells us that control tends to win in cup finals, and that argument leans toward Havertz getting the nod. Now let us talk about how Arsenal can actually win this game, because tactics matter just as much as personnel. The first key is winning the transition. Manchester City will dominate possession for large periods of this match, that much is expected. But Arsenal's real opportunity comes in those transition moments, the moments when possession changes hands and space opens up quickly. Players like Bukayo Saka and Leandro Trossard are devastating in those moments, and Arsenal must be ready to attack at pace the instant they win the ball back. The second key is their set-piece threat, with Rice delivering from dead ball situations and aerial threats throughout the box. Arsenal possess a genuinely dangerous weapon that City have shown vulnerability to this season. This is not just a minor tactical consideration, it is one of Arsenal's biggest weapons, and they must exploit it at every opportunity. The third, and perhaps most important key, is managing the game emotionally. Finals are not just tactical battles, they are mental ones too. Arsenal cannot afford to lose discipline, they cannot allow themselves to get stretched, and they absolutely cannot panic if City score first. Manchester City punish mistakes instantly and ruthlessly, and any lapse in concentration could prove fatal. The predicted lineup for Arsenal tonight in a 4-3-3 formation is David Raya in goal, with a back four of Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, and either Calafiori or the best available left-back option. The midfield three of Zubimendi, Rice, and the creative third option sits behind a front three of Saka, Havertz, and Martinelli, with Gyökeres or Trossard offering an alternative depending on Arteta's final call. This goes beyond silverware now. Win this, and Arsenal prove they can deliver on the biggest stage when it matters most. Lose this, and the pressure intensifies heading into the rest of a season where they are still chasing something historic. Arsenal have not lifted a major trophy since 2020, and that drought is something this squad desperately wants to end. Winning the Carabao Cup tonight could be the spark that ignites a remarkable finish to the season, because remember, Arsenal are still in the conversation for a potential quadruple, and everything starts here. But here is what makes this final so fascinating from a neutral perspective as well. Most football writers and analysts are actually predicting Arsenal to win tonight. Their current form is exceptional. They have won 6 of their last 7 matches, they are defensively solid, they are organized, and they are dangerous from dead ball situations. Gabriel Magalhaes in particular has been having arguably his best season in an Arsenal shirt, and many analysts believe he could be the one to make the decisive difference, potentially from a set piece. However, there is one name that every single Arsenal supporter will have circled in their mind going into this final, and that name is Erling Haaland. He has scored in each of his last 3 appearances against Arsenal, and the frightening thing about Haaland is that he does not need much. One moment, one chance, one penalty, and the entire complexion of the game changes instantly. Arsenal's defensive unit will need to be at their very best to keep him quiet for 90 minutes. Some predictions are pointing toward a very tight game, possibly going to extra time or even penalties, because that is the nature of cup finals and the margins are so small at this level. However, the weight of current form and momentum sits firmly with Arsenal right now. Manchester City have not looked as consistently dominant as they have in previous seasons, while Arsenal are winning regularly, defending with enormous confidence, and showing the kind of belief that suggests they are genuinely ready for this moment. Predictions from analysts include a 1-1 draw going to extra time, a 2-1 Arsenal victory, a 3-1 Arsenal win, and even the possibility of a penalty shootout. Players who could make the decisive difference tonight include Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Magalhaes, and Victor Gyökeres for Arsenal, while Erling Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne represent the biggest dangers from the Manchester City side. It might ultimately come down to just one moment of individual quality, one set piece, one counterattack, one decision from a referee, or one moment of brilliance from a player who rises to the occasion when the lights are brightest. So here is the big question as we head into tonight's final. Will Arsenal finally end their trophy drought and prove that this generation of players can deliver when it truly matters? Or will Manchester City show once again why they have dominated this competition so thoroughly over the last decade? Now it is your turn. Who do you want to start up front, Havertz or Gyökeres?